guys, welcome back to the Carbon Classes NEET UG Academy का channel. So in this we are going the high yield series और high yield series में हमारा chapter of concern is chapter 4. chapter 4 में हम लोग क्या पढ़ रहे हैं सर? chapter 4 में हम chemical kinetics we are covering and in chemical kinetics सर हमने NCERT से क्या क्या पढ़ लिया था? We had studied about आपका rate log we had seen, we had talked about molecularity and order of the reaction. In this lecture we are going to cover your zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले बात करते हैं सर, चैप्टर ही कंप्लीट करेंगे, मतलब जीरो ऑर्डर, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, सेकेंड ऑर्डर के बारे में. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द जीरो ऑर्डर रिएक्शन. जीरो order reaction. So what is zero order reaction? In zero order reaction guys, the rate of the reaction is proportional to the zeroth power of the concentration of reactants. मतलब जो rate of the reaction है सर वो किसके proportional है? वो proportional है आपके zeroth of the power of the power of the concentration of the reactants. इसको लिख लो एक बार. The rate of the reaction is proportional to zero power of the concentration of reactants. ठीक है, अब देखो, अब कुछ नहीं करना. अब जो रेट है, ठीक है, रेट इज माइनस dr by dt फॉर द रिएक्टेंट्स, दैट इज इक्वल टू k टाइम्स r की पावर 0 इज 1. ठीक. In the next step what we are going to do is we are going to multiply the dt with k. So minus dr is equal to k times dt. Then we are going to integrate this. From the starting of the reaction, that is R naught, to the final R. Okay guys, so what do we get is R. कहाँ से सर? starting of the reaction में R naught concentration थी and final reaction R, and I have transferred this negative sign over here. ठीक है, ये नेगेटिव साइन को मैंने इधर प्लेस कर दिया. ठीक है, सो दैट इज इक्वल टू माइनस के टी. ठीक है, सो दिस गिव्स आर माइनस आर नॉट इज इक्वल टू माइनस के टी, और आर इज इक्वल टू आर नॉट माइनस के टी. ओके गाइस, तो जीरो ऑर्डर रिएक्शन के लिए this R is concentration of the reactant at any time. What is this R naught satisfy? This R naught is initial concentration. ये R naught क्या है? Initial concentration, and this T is time, K is rate constant. ठीक है, चलो ये सारी चीजें अपने को पता लग गई. नेक्स्ट चीज बात करते हैं इसमें हाफ लाइफ की. सो गाइज, व्हाट इज हाफ लाइफ? सॉरी, हाफ टाइम लिख दिया मैंने. व्हाट इज हाफ लाइफ? सो हाफ लाइफ फॉर एनी रिएक्शन इज टाइम टेकन बाय द रिएक्शन फॉर द रिएक्टेंट्स टू बिकम एग्जैक्टली हाफ ऑफ इट्स कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. मतलब जो फाइनल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट है वो कितनी हो जाएगी सर? वो हो जाएगी इनिशियल का हाफ. दैट इज R becomes R naught by 2. Replacing R naught by 2 in the position of R, what we get सर ये मिलेगा. This implies minus R naught by 2 is equal to minus KT, और टाइम को लिख दो हम T हाफ. माइनस से माइनस साइन कैंसिल, देन टी हाफ इज इक्वल टू आर नॉट बाय 2k, ठीक है, टी हाफ इज इक्वल टू आर नॉट बाय 2k। ओके गाइस, चलो इतनी बात हो गई। नेक्स्ट बात करते हैं बेसिकली ग्राफ्स कैसे दिखेंगे। सो हाउ इज द ग्राफ ऑफ द फॉलोइंग रिएक्शन वुड बी शोन। सो सिंपल सी बात है सर, हमें ऊपर क्या मिला था, हमें ऊपर ये इक्वेशन मिली थी r इज इक्वल टू आर नॉट माइनस के टी। ओके, सो y इज इक्वल टू m इंटू एक्स प्लस सी, ठीक है, ये होती है एक स्ट्रेट लाइन की इक्वेशन। और इस स्ट्रेट लाइन का सर स्लोप कितना है सर, दिस हैज अ नेगेटिव स्लोप, दिस हैज अ नेगेटिव स्लोप ऑफ माइनस के। सो ग्राफ कैसा बनेगा, वेट अ मिनट गाइस, एक मिनट, ग्राफ कैसा बनेगा, इफ यू चेक आउट this position is covered by concentration, final concentration of the reactant, ठीक है, और यहाँ पर रहेगा टाइम। so as we know initial concentration of the reactant is maximum, that is R naught की position, and with time this concentration decreases, ठीक है, with time this concentration decreases, ठीक है। तो ये रहेगी इसकी ग्राफ। यहाँ पर स्लोप कितना आएगा सर, स्लोप आएगा इज इक्वल टू माइनस के, स्लोप इज योर माइनस के, ठीक है। चलो इतना ग्राफ हो गया। देन हम रेट एंड कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट्स, रेट एंड कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट्स के बीच में एक ग्राफ बनाते हैं, ठीक है। सो by our study your rate minus dr by dt is equal to k r की पावर 0, k r की पावर 0, यानी कि dr by dt is equal to माइनस के, ठीक है, एक प्रॉपर कांस्टेंट है। तो क्या लाइन रहेगी सर, ऐसे रहेगी, dr by dt with respect to your time, ठीक है। तो ये दो ग्राफ हो गए जो हमने जीरो ऑर्डर रिएक्शन में चेक किए थे। नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन, वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट, नेक्स्ट इज फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन, ठीक है। अब फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन का मतलब क्या है, देखो फर्स्ट लिखा है ना, फर्स्ट का मतलब क्या है, जो रेट ऑफ द रिएक्शन है वो किसके प्रोपोर्शनल है, वो प्रोपोर्शनल है टू द फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, दैट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द फर्स्ट ऑर्डर ऑफ द concentration of the reactant, that is proportional to the first order of the concentration of the reactant, ठीक है गाइस। सो रेट को कैसे लिख सकते हैं हम, रेट ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट्स इज माइनस डी आर बाई डी टी इज इक्वल टू के टाइम्स आर, ठीक है। अब माइनस साइन उधर मल्टीप्लाई किया, डी आर के नीचे आर लिखा, डी आर के नीचे आर इज इक्वल टू माइनस के टाइम्स डी टी, ठीक है। दोनों जगह इंटीग्रेट किया, एंड व्हाट वी गेट इज इसको इंटीग्रेट किया आर नॉट से आर तक, ठीक है। एंड यू नो इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ डी आर बाय आर इज इक्वल टू सर लॉग आर, ठीक है, सॉरी लॉग भी नहीं, एल एन आर होता है, एल एन आर, इट इज इक्वल टू एल एन आर, ओके। सो एल एन आर कहाँ से कहाँ तक लिमिट्स डिफाइन कर देते, आर नॉट से आर इज इक्वल टू सर माइनस के टी प्लस सी, ठीक है, एल एन आर माइनस एल एन आर नॉट इज इक्वल टू माइनस के टी, ठीक है। सी इज योर कांस्टेंट, सी लगाओ ना लगाओ तो एक ही बात है, सी लगाओ नहीं लगाओ एक ही बात है। सो एल एन आर इज इक्वल टू एल एन आर नॉट ठीक है, माइनस के टी। सो दिस इज द ग्राफ व्हाट वी ऑब्टेन। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर एल एन आर नॉट क्या है? एल एन आर इज योर फाइनल कंसेंट्रेशन, एल एन आर नॉट इज योर इनिशियल कंसेंट्रेशन, के टी आपका फैक्टर है जिससे रिएक्टेंट कितना कम हो रहा है पर यूनिट टाइम। ठीक है, सो ऑन सॉल्विंग फॉर टी what we get is एक मिनट, एल एन आर माइनस एल एन आर नॉट बाय के इज इक्वल टू टी। ठीक है, अब हम नेक्स्ट जाते हैं, अब हम नेक्स्ट कैलकुलेट करते हैं फॉर टी हाफ ऑफ द रिएक्शन। ठीक है, टी हाफ का मतलब क्या है सर? टी हाफ इज दैट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, T half is that time when the final concentration becomes half of the initial concentration। मतलब ln r क्या बन रहा है सर? ln r naught by 2। टाइम क्या बन रहा है सर? t half। ठीक है, अब ये वैल्यूज यहां पुट कर देता हूं मैं। सो माइनस ऑफ ln r naught by 2 माइनस ln r इज इक्वल बाई के इज इक्वल टू सर टी हाफ। सर मुझे पता है लॉग ए माइनस बी, सर लॉग ए माइनस लॉग बी इज इक्वल टू लॉग ए बाई बी, है ना, लॉग ए बाई बी। ठीक है, अप्लाइंग द सेम प्रॉपर्टी ओवर हेयर, व्हाट वी गेट इज माइनस एल एन आर नॉट बाई 2 डिवाइडेड बाय आर बाय 1 बाई के इज इक्वल टू टी हाफ। ठीक है, आर नॉट और आर नॉट गेट्स कैंसल्ड, ये भी आर नॉट है ना इनिशियल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, आर नॉट एंड आर नॉट गेट्स कैंसल्ड एंड व्हाट वी गेट इज सर माइनस ऑफ एल एन, या एक काम करो गाइस, एक काम करो, दिस माइनस वी वुड इनकॉर्पोरेट ओवर हेयर। How would we incorporate? Let me show you. ठीक है, now when we incorporate this minus sign into this natural log, ये जो 1/2 का फैक्टर है ये ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा। ठीक है, ये 2/1 हो जाएगा। So when I incorporate this negative sign, it becomes ln 2/1 divided by k is equal to t half। ठीक है, तो ln को हम नेचुरल लॉग में, नेचुरल लॉग को जब हम लॉगरिथम में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, सो वी मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय 2.303 फैक्टर ऑफ 2.303। सो 2.303 log 2 डिवाइडेड बाय k इज इक्वल टू टी हाफ। ठीक है, सो टी हाफ क्या आया सर? log 2 की वैल्यू 0.301, सो टी हाफ इज इक्वल टू 2.303 इंटू 0.301 by k, that comes out to be t half is equal to 0.693 by k। ठीक है, सो ये t half की कैलकुलेशन हो गई। Then talking about the graph guys, अब ग्राफ किस किस के बीच में बना रहे हैं? ग्राफ बनाते हैं हम रेट और टाइम के बीच में। ठीक है, रेट और टाइम के बीच में, तो सर रेट और टाइम के बीच में माइनस डी आर बाई डी टी इज इक्वल टू के आर। ठीक है, ये ग्राफ था, तो रेट क्या है? माइनस डी आर बाई डी टी विद टाइम। सो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ ग्राफ वी गेट इज, वी गेट एन ग्राफ ऑफ एक्सपोनेंशियल डीके, मतलब माइनस डी आर बाई डी टी इज इक्वल टू माइनस के आर। ठीक है, स्लोप डिक्रीज हो रही है और प्रोडक्ट डीके कर रहा है, कम हो रहा है, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट अगर ग्राफ बनाए इस फॉर्मूले से एल एन आर इज इक्वल टू एल एन आर नॉट माइनस के टी, which type of graph we would get? Let's have a look. एक मिनट, ये लाइन सीधी नहीं बन रही। ठीक है, so L and R would be here. It is y is equal to mx plus c टाइप का ग्राफ, ठीक है। so c is ln r naught इधर पे, and it is coming downward, स्ट्रेट लाइन ग्राफ है, ठीक है, विद नेगेटिव स्लोप। तो क्या होगा, द स्लोप इज माइनस के, ठीक है, सिंपल था। ln r डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम एक्स एक्सेस पे। तो ये अपने ने जीरो ऑर्डर रिएक्शन भी देख लिया, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन भी चेक कर लिया, ठीक है। नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट सूडो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन। लेट्स टॉक अबाउट सूडो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन, ठीक है। व्हाट इज अ सूडो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन? व्हाट इज अ सूडो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन? तो सूडो का मतलब क्या है गाइस? सूडो का मतलब होता है फॉल्स, ठीक है। फॉल्स फर्स्ट ऑर्डर नहीं, ये एक्चुअली सेकेंड ऑर्डर रिएक्शंस होती है, बट दे गिव फेस ऑफ एज इफ दे आर फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शंस, ठीक है। मतलब एक्चुअली दे आर सेकेंड ऑर्डर रिएक्शंस, बट रिएक्शन को देख के हमें पता लगता है कि एक्चुअली दे आर फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, है ना। एक्चुअली दे आर फर्स्ट ऑर्डर। कैसे सर? वही चीज अब हम स्टडी करने वाले हैं। ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरे पास एक ईथर का मॉलिक्यूल है, and what I am going to do is I am going to make it through a reaction that is ether hydrolysis reaction, जिसमें हम ईथर ब्रेक करके एक कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड और एक कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड और एक अल्कोहल प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, ठीक है। दिस इज कॉल्ड ईथर हाइड्रोलिसिस। दिस रिएक्शन इज कॉल्ड ईथर हाइड्रोलिसिस। So when we go through the concentration of this reaction, if the initial concentration of the ether is 0.1 mole, water is 10 mole, these are 0 0. The final concentration when all the hydrolysis has taken place, final concentration of this is 0, final concentration this is a 0.99 mole, and final concentration of the products is 0.11 mole. So as we can see, the concentration of water initially was 10 mole and finally it is 9.99 mole, that is approximately equal to 10 mole. That is the concentration. The concentration of water does not get changed. The concentration of water does not get changed. So actually being a second order, the concentration of water does not matter here. How much be the concentration of water, it doesn't, we do not need it actually, because there is not much of a change in the reaction. So what matters is only the concentration of the ether molecule. So the reaction is a pseudo first order reaction. So this is an example of pseudo first order reaction. Okay, so how we are going to explain this? Sir? Let me write over here. The rate of the reaction is dependent on the concentration of the ether molecule. Okay, concentration of the ether molecule and the concentration of water. but concentration of water is constant. So the rate of the reaction, so H to rate of the reaction is equal to K dash times the rate into the product of ether, where K dash is equal to, sir, K into concentration of water. So got it, friends? This is an example of pseudo first order reaction. Okay, so let's now go into energetics of the reaction. Let's now go into energetics of the reaction. So in energetics of the reaction, we are going to see or talk about a graph. Basically, in energetics of the reaction, we are going to see about the activation energy. See, now this is the potential energy, this is the reaction coordinates. Okay, this is the reaction coordinates. Now this is the concentration of the reactant, this is the concentration of product, and this is the whole path through which reactants get into product. Ab reactants could be H2 plus I2, for example, I have taken, and they become HI over here. So now we are going to talk about the various types of processes that are seen. So initially the reactants are present at this much potential energy. So they must gain an additional energy which is equivalent to the activation energy, to form an activated complex, which further goes and gets converted into the product. Okay guys, so additional amount of energy that the reactants must gain to form activated complex is called activation energy. Okay, so now we are going to talk about threshold energy. Threshold energy is the minimum amount of energy that is required to form the product is called threshold energy. So let me draw threshold energy. So this straight line over here is the minimum amount of energy that is required to convert reactants into product, and this is called threshold energy. Okay, so this is the threshold energy. It is the minimum amount of energy that is required to convert reactants into the product. Now as you can see the energy of the reactants is more and the energy of the product is less. So when we calculate delta H for the reaction, delta H is delta H product minus delta H reactant, that comes out to be negative, which means the reaction is exothermic in nature. If delta H for the reactions comes out to be positive, that means the reaction is endothermic in nature. Okay, so the reaction is endothermic in nature. Okay guys, now we are going to talk about the next part of this chapter, that is Arrhenius equation. Arrhenius equation. So sir, what does Arrhenius equation is? So Arrhenius equation is basically a very simple reaction between the rate constant and the fraction of reactants which have activation energy or more. Okay, so Arrhenius equation is K is equal to A times e to the power minus EA divided by RT. K times A to the power minus EA divided by RT, where K is your rate constant, A is your Arrhenius constant or Arrhenius factor, what you can say. EA is activation energy, R is your gas constant, and T is your temperature. T is your temperature. So what is this? This signifies the total fraction of reactants which have more than activation energy or more than activation energy. So this is total fraction. This is total fraction of reactants which have EA or more energy than EA. Okay. So one more important conclusion what we come through this graph is that sir K, that is rate constant, is only dependent on temperature and no other physical quantity. Okay, so rate constant is only dependent on temperature and no other physical quantity like pressure, volume, nothing. So what or when a rate constant can be changed? With increase or decrease in temperature, only your rate constant can be changed. Okay guys, now further continuing your this equation, we multiply the whole equation by ln, or we take natural log on both sides. So what we get is ln k, taking natural log on both sides, on this equation number 1, what we get is ln k is equal to minus EA by RT plus ln A, and this is the same type of equation what we get for y is equal to mx plus C type equation. So if we build a graph for this equation, it simply comes out to be this. So this is ln k and this is your 1 by t coordinate over here, and intercept over here is ln A, and this slope is minus EA by R. Okay guys, so this is a graph which we built and which we get over here. Now next thing we are going to talk about Maxwell-Boltzmann graph or distribution. So next topic is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Okay guys, so this graph talks about a distribution between the kinetic energy of the molecules and the fraction of molecules having that kinetic energy. So basically, let's talk about this graph. Okay, so this is a basic simple graph that I have drawn over here. This is a basic simple graph I have drawn over here. This is the fraction of molecules, and this is the kinetic energy. Okay, so Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution could be understood by this very simple example that in a class there are few good students, few average, and few not so bad. they are bad only. So few bad students. So three types of students are present in a class. Basically, the good students are always prepared for any type of test. So they are always having the energy which is greater than the activation energy or more than activation energy. So these students always have this energy. This is the activation energy. Okay, these good students or these good molecules have always that amount of activation energy that they can directly get converted into the product. Now a basic scenario is there when a teacher comes to the class and she announces test. So the average students also start preparing for the test. So the average student, they also start preparing for the test. And now what the graph becomes is like this. Okay, let me change the color of the wait. So this is the initial. Now when the teacher announces test in the class, so more amount of students become charged, and more amount of student becomes charged, and see, and they tend to have more energy than activation energy. Okay guys, they tend to have more energy than activation energy, and the graph looks like this. Suppose the initial temperature was T and the final temperature was T plus 10. So the average students now have also gained energy and they have also started preparing for the test. So initially only these many molecules were prepared to form the product. But finally, these were the additional amount after the increase of temperature. These were the additional amount of molecules that would react to form the product with increase in temperature. Okay guys, so what did Maxwell-Boltzmann graph showed? That with increase in temperature, more amount of molecules gain the activation energy, but the total area under the graph remains the same. That is, the concentration of all the molecules is the same. Okay, so what does this show? This is additional molecules which react at T plus 10 degrees. This is additional number of molecules that react at T plus 10. Okay guys, now let us study about the effect of a catalyst. Let us study about the effect of a catalyst on a reaction. So basically, a catalyst, it decreases the energy of activation. What does this catalyst do? Okay, this is the initial path that the molecules follow to react and become into product. What does a catalyst do? A catalyst alters the path of the reaction and provides an alternate path for the reaction to progress, and in that alternate path it decreases the activation energy required to form the product. So this is the activation energy. This is the energy of activation without catalyst. Activation energy without catalyst, which is evident of the fact that less energy is required as compared to the initial step where there was a requirement of more amount of energy. So what does a catalyst do? A catalyst decreases the activation energy. A catalyst decreases the activation energy. Okay, now what does a catalyst do in a condition of equilibrium? So a catalyst, it favors both the forward reaction and the backward reaction equally, and it tends or it helps to reach the equilibrium at a more sudden pace. Okay, if the equilibrium was reached at 10 minutes, the catalyst helps to reach the equilibrium in 5 minutes only. Okay, it increases the speed of the reaction. Now let's talk about a modified Arrhenius equation. Okay, so final topic for today is modification of Arrhenius equation. So guys, some scientists felt that the Arrhenius equation, which was initially given by Arrhenius, was not up to the mark. Why? It lacked some factors. So to improve that Arrhenius equation, the scientist added a factor. Called uh, collision frequency and probability of correct collision. So what they did was they multiplied it with this factors, where P stands for your probability of correct collision, and ZAB stands for collision frequency. ZAB stands for collision frequency. Now what is collision frequency? So collision per unit time is called collision frequency. That how many molecules are colliding to form the product. So that is called collision frequency. So collision per unit time is called your collision frequency. Now probability of correct collision. What does this probability of correct collision mean? Let us understand by a simple example. We have got a molecule of CH3Br. And we make it go through a substitution reaction in which we react it with a nucleophile. Okay, a nucleophile is positive center loving, and it is a base which has a negative charge. So what would it do is a nucleophile could react this delta positive carbon from in front, or it could follow a path that goes from the behind of the molecule. So two types of product could be present over here. But could this molecule, when attacking from the front, wouldn't get any or wouldn't face any repulsions through these electrons that are present over the bromine? It would. So what would be the correct orientation, sir? If the bromine approaches from, if the OH negative ion, it approaches from the behind, this would be correct. This would be the correct collision. Yeah, proper. This would be the proper orientation. And what would be improper orientation? Improper orientation would be this bromine, this nucleophile that is approaching from in front. So this would be improper orientation. Why would be improper orientation? Because this bromine would face, or this nucleophile OH group would face electronic repulsions from the electrons of bromine. So the product in this case would not be formed. Whether in this case it would be formed. So it is equally important for a reaction to have proper orientation, and so this factor was added over here. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. This was all for the chapter of chemical kinetics. Be happy, stay safe, keep watching carbon classes. Thank you friends.